Alright, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, all the glory, all the honor to Yahweh, Shimi Al Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone that rule well. And blessings to the elect nation of Israel who are scattered worldwide. Alright, who are predestined to be saved. Brother Yakao coming with a short video. And Lord willing, your brothers and few sisters will be edified. Sorry I haven't uploaded in like 4 or 5 days. I think 6-7 days now, because I've not been well, too well, but getting better. Have to go to the hospital for blood transfusion, which I'll do today. But I saw, as I'm getting better, I saw a documentary that was very interesting. Very interesting. I'm going to play a clip for it here. And it was something that we was talking about after we did a sit down. And we're talking about the music industry. Now listen carefully, I'm going to show you clips. Because music, or anything in the hands of someone that has got a pious mind, a godly kind of mindset, all right, you're gonna if you can play instrument or whatever, or sing, if God's given you those talents, you can do that. I mean, hey, King David played the harp. All right, King David played the harp. King David wrote psalms and so forth. So it's not that evil. The music is evil in its entirety. It's is who is in possession of the music, and you have to understand that a part of Satanism. All right, they believe that Satan was his name's Lucifer, and he was kicked out of heaven. That's the mad bullshit that they believe in, which is all rubbish. All right, the Book of Job tells you that Satan basically is God's minister on the left-hand side. All right. So after the sit-down, I think what I was talking about, and one of the brothers sent me, showed me the video of NBA Youngboy. I don't know much about these rappers, but I've seen this guy, NBA Youngboy, and he's actually, in this video, he was actually talking to a wall. All right. He was talking to a wall. All right. But he was talking to a demon, because he can see the demon and other people can't. All right, that's how things manifest, man, in the spiritual realm. Okay, now I'm gonna play this clip from. We're gonna go in and out a little bit. I'm gonna play this clip of this documentary, The Way TV, and it's 2 Israelite people that are. And I looked at it. I looked at their channel. They got a video denouncing Israelites that they call Yahweh Yahuwah. So they're all over the place, but it's a damn good documentary anyway, and I saw part 1, but I'm just going to play a little bit for you, and then we're going to get into this.
Have you ever stopped to wonder why music has such a powerful grip on us? Think about it. Why do certain songs get stuck in our heads? Or why do we turn to music when we're happy, sad, or even stressed? It's not just a coincidence. There's something deeper going on. A connection between music, our soul, and the way our brains are wired. But what if I told you that this connection goes beyond just feelings? What if music is actually altering the way you think and even affecting your spirit?
It activates every area of the brain that we have so far mapped. In fact, there's no area of the brain that we know about that music doesn't touch in some way. Music, particularly among adolescents, is a very powerful motivator of behavior. What I would say is that repetition is the godmother of music.
See that?
My name is Robert Cooper. Rap name Coops the nigga. I don't know about nobody else, but I can tell you, we know we was doing 666. We exactly knew what it meant. So
see, look, 3 6 Mafia. And what is 3 6s? 666. So don't listen to, because there's a clip in here of this bitch, Sukiana, I think her name is, and she said, I didn't know what I was signing, this, that, and the other. Listen, they are perfectly aware of what they're signing. All right, and that's why even when it's daytime, they're wearing dark shades. You know why? Because the eyes are the window to the soul, and they're evil as hell. Okay, and she was saying, "Oh no, I didn't know what I was standing up to, what I was signing up for, this, that, and the other." Well, hang on, they're telling you every time you go on stage, you have to do devil horns, stick out your tongue. You know, I mean, why would they tell you, if you're a musician and you go out, why would they tell you to do these things? These are all satanic hand signs. All right. So when you see like this nigga here, look, you see him, he's doing a Baphomet.
Sometimes we use the hip, we try to come on stuff, the hypnotize, seem like repeating the triple six, back to back triple six, one out, take slide, you so
they understand that that works, that people can be psychologically conditioned to believe anything.
That's
if
it.
you just say it enough times.
I was on rap stages rapping about, violence and guns. That we get paid to rap about that stuff. They actually pay us more when we rap about more ignorant stuff.
Hollywood is not just creating music for your entertainment. They are giving out frequencies, and they are modifying your behavior based on the frequencies that they are giving out. And so it's important to know what it is that you're listening to.
You watch the Super Bowl halftime show, or you watch the Grammy Awards, or you watch some of these big concerts and music videos where they are putting satanic symbolism right in your face.
Wow.
They are practicing witchcraft on the stage right in front of you. You're watching a football game or an award show with your kids, and now whammo, straight evil coming straight at you. We've all seen this now.
I don't think we should underestimate the power of music, because music touches the limbic system, or the emotional system of our brain, which actually, though slower than other parts, can overwhelm all of the other parts.
Of course not all music is bad, by all means it's not, but majority of it there is to take you away from Christ. 100% take you away from Christ.
In terms of the lyrics, is that what you mean, or do you mean the industry itself, people, big players in the industry?
Both, lyrically and both big players. Both.
Yep.
I've been in rooms at the top of the top, which albums are prayed over demonically. Music is prayed over demonically. And that goes out to the world, goes out to the radio stations, goes out to the public.
There have been rappers who have spoken about the fact that record labels will force them to record demonic phrases and to say demonic phrases backwards and to insert it into their music. So what's actually going on here? You're calling this a conspiracy, but why aren't you listening to the artists who are saying that this is what they have to do?
Exactly. Now, that's what they have to do, man. Now let's listen to this nigga. All right, and let me say this, man. I he's in prison right now. He had a problem with prescription drugs, and the charges is on him is like, the charges that he's on is like a prescription drug fraud. To get Xanax or whatever painkillers, Oxy or Contin or. I mean, these are the kind of things that I need for sickle cell if I get pain. This guy and other people, there's a culture in America of popping prescription pills, and he had a problem with it. All right, and basically, the police got him, and he's banged up now. And his trial, I don't know when his trial is, but and I'll show you. He went to court a few months ago, and he looks like a shadow of what he was, man. But listen carefully to this interview and what this nigga says. But let me say this. There's remorse there. Alright? Listen very carefully to what he says.
I do want to feel positive about myself though one day. Like, alright, you did it. Nothing's wrong with you. You're okay to walk this earth. You're not a bad person. You're not someone who's fucking it up. I'm just curious on the man that I'm going to become. I think I grew out of liking music, like the love for it. But it's like, it's therapy. It's knowing express myself. And as I sit down behind the mic and just let things flow out of my mouth, I feel relieved. Man, I was flooded with millions of dollars from the time I was 16 all the way to this point in my life. And I woke up one morning and I was like, damn, they got me. Man, look at the shit I spoke about. Look at the shit I put in these people's ears. Man, I feel very wrong about a lot of things. How many lives I actually am responsible for when it comes to my music? How many kids and people have gotten caught or put this shit in their ears and actually hurts me? And now I'm sitting back like, damn, I can't do it all in one day, but I promise to clean whatever I can clean. But it's gonna take time.
See, you know what he said? Listen very carefully to that interview. He said, you know, he was making millions at 16. He was a young guy, you know, and there's one thing in that, and the other clip that the clip that I showed you earlier. There's a bit in that where one person is saying that, listen, they take advantage of these young guys because they've all grown up with some kind of trauma. They're, you know, a lot of them are, and it's not all of them, a lot of them are normal people but pretending, you know, but someone like him, he didn't have a great upbringing, you know, and I'm not making excuses for him or any other rapper, but they've had traumatic things happen to them, and then everything that's promoted to us as a people is negative, you know, and this, that, and the other. So he thinks, shit, man, my life is shit, you know. He's got talent. So when the devil, so-called white man, comes with a contract, all right, that is your testing point right there, and he failed that test. That's why he's in prison, man. All right. And look, it says NBA YoungBoy's music and videos have been streamed more than 10 billion times. 10 billion. And I looked up some of his music. It's rubbish. Some down south Louisiana bullshit, man. You know? But there's remorse there. He said, look at the shit I've put in people's ears. People have... hear it again, man.
I've gotten caught or put this shit in their ears and actually it hurts me. And now I'm sitting back like, damn, I can't do it all in one day, but I promise to clean whatever I can clean. But
it's gonna take time, you see? He talked about his music, calling it shit in their ears. Alright? You know? That's why one interviewer said to him, your fans go hardcore for him because he was in court and he had fans screaming, free NBA YoungBoy. And he was embarrassed. You know why? Because he knows how he got it. He sold his soul, man. Alright? He sold his soul. That's the first mistake that he made. So now it's down to him and the Lord. You know? The Lord said, I will have mercy on who I have mercy. But once you sell your soul, that's it, man. You're done. You know what I mean? So it'll be wise, it'll behoove of you people to don't enter that industry. It doesn't matter whether you're if you're a singer or whatever, you know, be independent, do your own thing. It doesn't matter. There's loads of independent rappers on YouTube monetizing their videos, this, that, and the other. Do that, man. Don't do what he did. And the devil come to him and he paid a contract and he's paying a price. This is Mark 8:36. For what shall it profit a man if he gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Verse 37. Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Oh, a record deal. You see? A record deal, man. Alright? Okay. Verse 8. Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me. Alright. As he's talking about, and that me is Yahushai. Alright. Will be ashamed of me. 1 second. Trying to... Some fucking... It needs to die. That's what it needs to die. Oops. Slacky about that. Just some bloody insect rodent. A little maggot thing. You know, little ants or whatever. Bed bugs. Horrible. But anyway, yeah, he is. Let's go to verse 38. Whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me, and that's Yahushai, and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation. And we were back, this generation was back on the scene when Yahushua was on the scene. All right? That's why a lot of our people, man, you know, they're going to die, man, in horrible ways. You know, because they were the same people that said, oh, crucify him, let his blood be upon us and our children. Unbelievable why people said that, man. All right. Of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed, when he cometh in his glory of his Father with the holy angels, and that's in the chariots. All right. So unless the Lord has mercy on him and be a young boy, he's done, man. Okay. But at least there's some kind of remorse there. He said, look at the things I've put in people's ears and the stuff that, you know, that I've been singing and people have gone out and done. So music has an effect, like you saw in those clips, and it does have an effect. Let's go and give you another example here. 1 Samuel 18:10. All right, and it happened on the next day that the distressing spirit from the Most High came upon Saul, who was the king at the time, and he prophesied inside the house. So David played music with his hand as at other times. All right, but there was a spear in Saul's hand. So the Lord, King David played music to King Saul. All right, here's another example. Let me try and let's see now, because the spelling of this thing is off, man. I don't know why it goes like that, but let me put it in the blue letter. The blue letter spelling is on point. All right. Oh no, not New King J, just KJV, please. That is it. Let me see. Yep, 16:23. All right, here you go. So this is 1 Samuel 16:23. All right, and so it was whenever the Spirit of the Most High was upon Saul, that David would take a harp and play with his hand. So playing music instruments is in our DNA. All right. Then Saul would become refreshed and well, and the distressing spirit will depart from him. So when King David played the harp, all right, for Saul, all right, when he played the harp for Saul, all right, and he was the king at the time, you know, he had a distressing spirit, and it departed from him. All right. Let's see. He played the harp. Was refreshed. Let's look at that word, refreshed. Oh no, it's not that one. That's it. Refreshed. Let's look at that word, refreshed. Rava.
Strong's H 7304. Ravach.
All right, to be wide, to be spacious, to breathe. All right, to breathe easily, to breathe easily, be relieved. All right. So when David played the harp for Saul, he was relieved. It suit, you know, the distressing spirit that he had on him, he took it away. So that's the power of music. So what they're saying in this, and it's a good thing, it's called It's Just Music 2. There's part 1 and part 2. All right. You know, and it has a lot of different people in there. All right. And they're just leeching off of our people's talents, man. All right.
You did it.
See?
video about something I have a unique experience in. So I directed a bunch of rappers, people like Gucci Mane, Snoop Dogg, Lil Yachty, the list goes on and on and on, okay? Here's the truth. The truth is this: a bunch of young black male rappers keep dying. You know who's not dying? Record executives. The record executives that push for them to continue to make songs and create a culture that is obsessed with death, drugs, and sex. Period.
Not black culture. I am so sick of people telling me that the music that we are hearing, which is demonic and possessed, is something that we should be asserting claim over. Like, oh, you have to defend black artists that are producing filth. And I say, no, actually, it's been very clear to me for a long time that black culture has been infiltrated, that there is some sort of an intentional push to sign artists who are creating music that is more and more derogatory. In fact, I think that black music and music all across the board has become somewhat pornographic, but especially black music. I mean, I grew up listening to the Temptations, Lauryn Hill. You can't tell me that these executives, these record executives, are crawling all across social media, and this is the best talent that they can find.
Explain something up real quick. Before everybody starts screaming and saying, oh, like I told y'all earlier, you motherfuckers enter the rapture. And if ain't nobody flying up to heaven right now, obviously all y'all motherfuckers going to hell. Right with me. So, let's get it.
Did I sell my soul? I sold my soul for you. Y'all coming right with me, you dummies.
This industry is not what you think it is. Don't let these people fool you, man.
And this is another guy I have a bit of sympathy for as well. YK Osiris. You know what I mean? He's very honest about, coming to the industry, signing that contract, selling his soul. He had a hit record, and then everything just went downhill for him. Because the contract that they gave, what they do, they give you an advance. An advance is just like a overdraft. So you think you're signing a record deal, like that NBA YoungBoy, in one interview, he said that, his stuff has been on YouTube, and some of his songs have got 91 million views. 91 million views, man. There was another, what's this guy, Julio Fulio. All right, he was killed a couple of months ago, and by the way, he had it coming, man. All right, he had it coming, This guy was, he had a different beef with another people in Florida, and he was mocking their deaths, man. And he said in an interview that when you mock the dead, you're going way too far, So he knew what he was doing, man, and he got popped on his birthday. Okay, but there was no remorse from that Julio Fulio. This YK Osiris, NBA YoungBoy, there's a lot of remorse there. All right.
I'm gonna give y'all a little background on me, man. Like, my life is not perfect, man. Don't think because I'm on Instagram showing this, showing that, I don't got a perfect life either. And I want you to understand that just because all these rappers show all this money and show all this fame, don't think their life is good. It's not.
Wow. And there's kind of no denying. They're not getting richer by pushing satanic symbols.
Sure they are. Yeah, because the industry, the way those movie industries, music industries, all of that. Now, not everybody in those industries obviously is, some kind of a Satan worshiper or something, but there's a lot of that in there. And they've spent decades programming us from a young age to think those things are fine and normal, and they get rewarded for that. People that really serve the Father of Lies, they get rewarded by him when they proclaim his word and do what he tells them to.
Bands called Megadeth, Abattoir, Slayer, and Dead on Arrival bash out songs called Regurgitated Guts and Scream Bloody Gore. And Satanism, with its ready-made imagery, is a perfect source of inspiration.
Intentionally signing these individuals, in my view, like Cardi B, individuals like Sexy Red, because they are trying to impact our psyche. I believe the eyes and the ears are the window to the soul.
And that's right. You need to be very guardful around what you listen to, what you watch. There's some things that I just won't watch, man. You know, there was a film the other day. It was called Passing. It was about two black women who could pass for being white in the 1920s. I found, I was watching it and I just found it disgusting. It's a black woman that could possibly pass for a white woman and she's got a white man. As soon as I saw that, I just turned it off, man. And it's the same with the movies. If you look at the movies and the adverts, they're putting Israelites with Edomites, black men with white women, black women with white men, this, that, and the other. And that has caused, in the UK especially, in the last 10, 15 years, an explosion of interracial relationships, especially with Edomites, man. And we're not supposed to be doing that, all right? We're not supposed to be doing that, but the music, the television is saying, oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it, Don't worry about all that. You're doing your thing, and love is love, and all these kind of things. See, that's what the world says. All right, that's what the world is feeding us. So just like you saw that country music guy, John Rich, he's right. They've conditioned us for a very young age. That's why the black man would kill the black man like that, man. All right, Deuteronomy 7:3. All right. Nor shall you make marriages with them. With who? Heathens. Ye shall not give your daughter unto their son, nor take their daughter for your son. Why? Is the point. Deuteronomy 7:4. For they will turn your sons away from following me. And that's what happened with King Solomon. He had so many women of the other nations, he started to worship their gods. All right. To serve other gods, so the anger of the Lord will be aroused against you and destroy you suddenly. All right. So the world says that we can go out with marry this race and that race, but the Bible doesn't say that. The Most High does not say that, man. All right. It doesn't. He didn't give us any of those kind of commandments. Okay. So you have to understand that music is an integral part of our psyche, and the enemy knows that. That's the reason why the enemy is pushing out all this negative music. All right. And the whole P. Diddy thing is nothing but a ritual. He's probably not even in prison. He's probably just, they say, oh, he's in prison, got no bail, this, that, and he's probably on a beach somewhere having a good laugh, man. All right, there's something called Masonic. Let's see if I can say it. That's it. Masonic humiliation. I think, yeah, humiliation. Humiliation ritual. When you become a Mason, all right. See, look. Freemasons explain the rituals and benefits of membership, and a part of it is basically a part of their rituals, all right, is Masons, is that when you become a Mason, after a while you have to go through a humiliation ritual, all right, and that's all that PDD stuff is. I guarantee you he's on a beach somewhere just chilling. He should be in prison, you know what I mean? But he's destroyed, man. Look, I mean, he's destroyed anyway. Look at him. He's all over the place. His reputation is nothing. All right? Same with the rest of you rappers, man. Okay? And even Candace Owens is, even though she's a coconut, she's absolutely right. All right? So if you go to Exodus 15:20, all right, and Miriam, the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a timbrel in her hand, which is like a tambourine, and all the women went out after her with timbrels and with dances. So it's always been in our culture to do that. This is why the enemy is filling the music with degenerate music. This is the worst. I mean, one of the worst ones is this woman called Ice Spice. Oh my gosh, man, she's useless. This kind of music is so poor. But it's what the youngsters have today. They ain't got nothing else. See? So music is an integral part, all right, in our culture. So they know that, and that's the reason why they're using these idiots and to promote all this degeneracy. And what is that causing? It's causing us as a nation to be degenerates. All right. Jeremiah 2:21. Yet I have planted a noble vine, wholly a right seed. And that's us, the Israelites, man. So when you plant a seed, you put it in the ground, you cover it with the dirt, the earth, then you water it, and then that seed grows, and it grows into a flower, a plant. So the Lord said he planted a noble vine with laws, statutes, and commandments, and, which is us. But it says this is a future prophecy which we're living out now. How then art thou turned into a degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? And you can't get more degenerate than this. Sagging your pants, man. Alright? Going out like this. Now, where did they get this from? Rappers. So don't tell me that rappers or rap music doesn't influence people, because it does. Look at this, man. And now this was bad enough, but now they're wearing skinny jeans and doing it, man. They're actually coming out of there. Look at this nigger, man. He's actually coming out of his house like this. See, look, Balenciaga comes under fire for selling 1,200 sagging pants. Ridiculous, see? So they're, wow, look at this one, man. There you go, look at that. Pants are all the way down, man. All the way down. Look, his pants are just falling off. So that is an example of what? A degenerate plant of a strange vine. The Lord looks at them as strange. And if they don't, if the Lord doesn't turn them around, he's just going to put them to death. See, look, the worst, damn right, the worst trend, worst trend ever. And who does it? Mainly, it's our people. See, so all of this stuff has been pushed on our people, man. So you have to understand that. You have to understand that these rappers get paid, all right, a lot of money. Not really a lot of money. They get scammed, all right, with their record deal and things like this, But there's a part in here that shows you.
KRS-One, a hip-hop icon, was known for promoting positive messages in his music.
Not anymore.
Genesis chapter.
They got rid of him, man.
Verse 10.
All them.
One prime example is his track Self-Destruction with Daddy O and D Nice. Let's take a look at the powerful lyrics that once made an impact.
Beautiful.
Daddy O, end up in jail, I gotta go. Cause you did the crime and get paid today, and tomorrow you're behind bars in the worst way. From your family, cause you're locked away. Now tell me, do you really think crime pays? You know, taking what your brother had? Little sucker, you're talking all that jazz. It's time to stand together in a unity. Cause if not, then we're soon to be self-destroyed, unemployed. The rap race will be lost without a trace. Or a clue, but what to do is stop the violence and pick the science. Down the road that we call eternity, where knowledge is formed and you learn to be self-sufficient, independent. To teach to each is what rap intended, but society wants to invade. So do not walk this path that they laid. It's self-destruct.
As you can see, there was a time when rap focused on staying out of trouble and avoiding crime.
Yeah, man.
But
Not anymore.
The music industry took a drastic turn, leading to a very different narrative in today's music. Want proof? Listen to Grammy Award-winning artist Crazy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony as he shares a leaked letter from a music industry insider detailing the plot to change the music landscape.
So look, he says, between the late 80s and early 90s, I was what you may call a decision maker with one of the more established companies in the music industry. I came to Europe in the early 80s and quickly established myself in the business. The industry was different back then, since technology and media weren't accessible to people like that, like they are today. The industry had more control over the public, and and had the means to influence them any way it wanted.
Right.
This may explain why in early 1991, I was invited to attend a closed-door meeting with a small group of business insiders to discuss rap music's new direction. Little did I know we would be asked to participate.
So you hear that? So this is a white guy who brought up this, and I've did this on videos in the past. There's a white guy in the industry in early 90s. He was summoned to a meeting in a mansion outside LA, and they had to sign a non-disclosure form when they went in there. And basically they said, listen, you know, you guys in the music industry, record label execs, you're doing well. This hip hop stuff is doing well. But we have private prisons and we need to fill them. The way we can fill them is to turn this rap music into negativity. Rap about guns, drugs, girls, being a nigger. And that will help boost the crime rate and fill the prisons. And then the prisons are private, so the government pays the private prisons money for every prisoner they can put in there. So basically the rap industry is just a production line, like a factory of going to prison, you know. And when you go to prison, you get turned out, man. All right, that's why many of these rappers are homos, man. All right, they either were what's it called, homos, you know, down low, or they were industry and then they became a homo, or they went to prison and they became one. All right, now I'm sorry, Bobby Shmurda, whatever his name is, I'm sorry, he's one of them, man. He's funky dancing, a man in his bed. Come on, man, you know.
One of the most unethical and destructive business practices ever seen. Christ. So this was the meeting. The meeting was held at a private residence on the outskirts of Los Angeles. I remember about 25 to 30 people were being there. We were asked to sign a confidentiality agreement preventing us from publicly discussing the information presented during the meeting. At this point, I began to feel slightly uncomfortable and the strangeness of this gathering. The subject quickly changed as the speaker went on to tell us that the respective companies we represented had invested in a very profitable industry which could become even more rewarding with our active involvement. He explained that the companies we worked for had invested millions into the building of privately owned prisons, and that our positions of influence in the music industry would actually impact the profitability of these investments. Someone asked what these prisons were and what any of this had to do with music. We were told that these prisons were built by privately owned companies who received funding from the government based on the number of inmates. The more inmates, the more the government would pay these prisons. It was also made clear to us that since these prisons are privately owned, as they become publicly traded, we'd be able to buy shares. He told us that since our employees had become solid investors in this prison business, it was now in their interest to make sure that these prisons remain filled. Our job would be to help make this happen by making music which promote criminal behavior, rap being the music of choice. He assured us that this would be a great situation for us because rap music was becoming an increasingly profitable market.
And by the way, Cameron's a homo, man. Unfortunately, you know, when the Lord brought me in the truth, I saw a video. If I could look it up, you know, I would. But it's a very old video, and it had a picture of Cameron in a gay bar, and he had a white Edomite man on his lap, man. You know, so there's something about this industry where they get turned out. You know, the higher you go up, you get turned out, and that's what all this Diddy stuff is about. The baby oils and all this kind of stuff, real sick, degenerate kind of stuff. It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it.
For our companies, and as employees, we also also be able to buy stocks in these prisons. This person actually ended up leaving the music industry after this happened. A few years after this, he ended up leaving the music industry. Okay. And he said he just like, you know, over the years he just felt guilty because he said as he sat back and he watched these plans come into play, come to a reality
over 2 decades,
he sat back and was like, wow, they really pulled it off.
Yeah.
They really pulled this off. He was like, they were told not to sign any more political rappers, any more rappers that had messes in their music.
Positivity.
It was all to be gangster rap music that they
look at that.
promoted and put out.
So if you wonder where Brand Nubians went, where Poor Righteous Teachers went, where Public Enemy went, where KRS-One went, and all sorts of groups like that was talking to even Queen Latifah and Moni Love and those, you know what I'm saying? It's a back door.
Yeah, anything that was harmless, fun rap, you know, anything that had a message in it.
It took it out.
The first emotion I felt was shocked, because I was definitely taken back by this, just knowing the level of evil that's involved by even thinking of a plan like this, you know what I'm saying? The second emotion I felt was anger. Anger because it's not enough for them to exploit our culture and make all the money off of it. Because let's keep it real, the industry has never been favorable towards the artists, never. But they're going to go beyond the artists to get the artists to influence and lure in the consumer, which they knew at the time were mainly minorities. In other words, keep promoting gangster rap so that the youngsters will be influenced by them, which in turn will incite them to want to act like them, and it's a very good chance they'll end up in their prison.
Yeah.
So they're getting paid twice. They're getting paid from the artists they signing, and then they're getting paid from the people that these artists influence that goes to prison trying to be like these artists.
Yeah.
So they making the killing.
A killing.
They're using the music business to promote their private prison business.
My, oh my, what a masterful plan that has come to fruition.
That's right, man. And that's it, man. So you have to understand that these, like we serve Yahweh Shem Shai, all right, they serve their own god, Satan, man. This is 2 Corinthians 11 and 14. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. And that's what they think. They think that he's an angel of light, the light of Lucifer. All right, verse 15. All right, therefore it is no great thing if his ministers means servants to serve, also are transformed as ministers of righteousness, which is those rappers. They're not ministers of righteousness, you know, but our people look up to them, sadly, you know. All right, whose end shall be according to their works. That's beautiful. And we're not what? We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. All right, because that's exactly what's it called? That's exactly what's going on, man. You know what I mean? This is what's it called? Satan's devices. All right. See, once you know the plans of the enemy, then you can live. What's the word? Then you can live according to. You know how to go around it. If there's a damn crater in the road, and there's no sign saying, "Look ahead, danger," you're gonna drive and fall into that ditch. All right. So when you see these videos on YouTube, like what I'm doing and other people, they're basically warning you. All right. They're basically what's it called? They're basically warning you, man. All right. They're warning you, and that's what we have to do as well, man. All right. We have to do that as well. All right. Where is it here now? 2 Corinthians 2:11. 13. Let's get that. All right. So music is one of Satan's devices. 2 Corinthians 2:11. Least Satan should get an advantage of us. We are not ignorant. The word ignorant is not to know of his devices. So now you know how they're using the music, against our people. It doesn't mean that you can't listen to music. When we come from camp, at the end of camp, when I'm driving brother's home, brother has his phone, it links to the car, and he's got, some tunes. And the tunes that he plays in my car is all from the 90s, man. All right? And rap was bad enough then, but now, oh gosh, it's awful, it's terrible. So we're not ignorant Satan devices, and his ministers, these sellouts, are his ministers of so-called righteousness, man. And it's all there to promote wickedness. Look at that. Harry Styles, another musician. He's an English guy.
Ultimately, that he wanted to push now to see. He has a mark too, and his agenda is to turn you away and to twist you into something that was never meant to be. I'm not looking at the demise. I'm not looking at the downfall. I'm not looking at the people that I'm going to influence to represent Satan and ultimately send those people to hell. And the demons are literally coming out of them. This isn't a rock show. No, this is a church. The music that we're playing is the worship. When we're moshing, we're opening up a portal.
That reminds me of the Travis Scott show where they were doing the mosh pit and all those people ended up dying. And there was a kid who even died. He had all type of imagery that had like portals. A man going through a portal and becoming red like a demon, like his face as a bat, like leading up to that show. And then that stuff ended up happening and people were saying that it was sacrifice. It was like a ritual.
Every concert's a ritual. I have people drawing pentagrams at my concerts on the floor. Image the beast that was in me, I was solely into them, but you can definitely open your soul to some things.
It's like a church service, but for the dark side. And all these entities are just starting to grab hold of people, man. It's really deep, People need to understand this stuff is all spiritual, and the spiritual realm is very real.
Yeah, it's spiritual.
Pop artists' lyrics often reveal their innermost thoughts and emotions, offering glimpses into the struggles and challenges they face.
And I'll give you one scripture and I'm going to close. You see these hand signs? Again, it's all in the Bible, so this is all prophecy, man. They ain't doing anything that's new. Did not King Solomon say there's nothing new under the sun? All right. We had that back in the ancient world, man. People worshipping deities and Satan and Diana, Queen of Heaven, all this madness. We had that, a long, long time ago, man. So all that's happening is what happened, what happened in the past, man. All right. That's Proverbs 6. All right. I'll start from verse 12. Proverbs 6:12. A naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth, and that's what these fucking rappers have. All right, you fucking slaves, man. With a froward. Let's look at the word froward. All right. In Hebrew.
Strong's H 6143. Ikeshuth.
Ikeshuth. All right, Ikeshuth. Which means what? All right. Remember, froward. We're talking about the word froward, which is ikefus in Hebrew, which means what? A froward mouth, a distortion, crookedness. So that's what they're doing. They're actually rapping about distortion and crookedness, wickedness. That's what they're doing, man. Okay. And these are things that the Lord doesn't like, man. All right, verse 13. He winketh with his eyes. He speaketh with his feet. He teacheth with his fingers. And that's what this is all about. This bullshit that this nigga is doing here. All right. You see? That's what Proverbs 6 and 13 is saying. He winketh with his eyes. He speaketh with his feet. He teacheth with his fingers. Because in Masonry, that's how you know. Like when these people on the world stage, these leaders, they meet each other, they do their Masonic handshake. They do that. World leaders do that. The Queen used to do that. etc. All right. So guard yourself, man. All right. Guard yourself against this evil wickedness, and really, ultimately, our Heavenly Father has guarded us already. The victory has been won already, because the way a conspiracy fulfills its peak is when it's exposed, and then once it's exposed, it's downhill from there, and it's downhill for America from here. All right. So we don't want to go down with a sinking ship, man, and we don't want to be a bunch of degenerates like the rest of our people, you know. So guard against that, pray against that, and I hope you're edified. Until the next lesson, shalom.